Okay, we're back at the back steps leading up to the back of the house. It looks really pretty bad because I was just recently putting wood filler in there and trying to smooth it out, and also I was digging out a lot of wood rot with the trusses and the risers. The lighting isn't great right now because a lot of light and shadow. So anyway, I just want to give you an idea of what, you know, these pieces, they have quite a bit of spaces, you know, rot going on in between here like that. Okay, and I tried to fill in a few of them. So some of these might need to be switched out. That's what we're getting told right now, is that not all of it, but some of these can be switched out and the rest of the stairs will be all right. Oh, the banister here is totally disconnected, so it's a bit loose to move, you know, to count on it. I mean, to use it, it's a little bit wobbly because down here it's disconnected. Okay, so you have that going on, and then underneath here there's quite a bit of wood rot. Okay, you can see that right there. So that's at the footing of the stairs. Okay, and it looks like this was already sistered inside with another piece when this was happening. So this isn't new, but it's worse, obviously, after all these years. So I've gotten different ideas of replacing the whole steps, replacing the slider, or just splicing in a piece, cutting this, and then splicing in a piece at the end here. And then here you can see some of the wood rot at the end of the trusses that is there. And I'm sorry for the lighting, but anyway. So let's go ahead and go upstairs. So you can see here there's quite a bit of drying. All that would have to be done. The side here, there's a little window into that little room that used to have. And then there's the back door that was built a couple years ago, or like 3 or 4 years ago. And then here is the lanai area leading towards the back. All this needs to be primed, or, you know, prepped and primed and painted. The veranda's in pretty good condition. We have a little bit of wood rot here, that spot there. We have a little bit of wood rot there, and we have a little bit of wood rot here that I was digging out the other day because it didn't look that bad, but as soon as I started digging, then you can see it. And then the other thing that needs to be done is that the corner of the banister needs to be reattached. It's a little bit detached here, and so we need to get some kind of screw bolt to reattach this banister to the post on the corner here. But I think other than that, I think that's pretty much it down here. We have a little bit of you know, old patches that were fixed here on the corner, but overall up here it's not too bad. That's the way the floor looks, and then the ceiling would have to get painted and all that. All right, so let's try to race around to the bottom. So here we have it, your house. So this needs to be done. Here we have a lot of mold along the bottom, and so, you know, this posting here needs to be done. So all this needs to be, the ceiling, all of it needs to be redone. Here's your footings that you had done a couple years ago. So there you can see it there. There is a little tiny bit of rot, I think, happening at the other post at this one here. Here's your new footing that you had a couple of years ago, put in there by Jay the carpenter. And then there's a little tiny bit of rot going on there that needs to be addressed. But you can see how dirty everything is. You know, so anyway, have my clothes hanging. There's your posts here, and then here your This is underneath the back lanai deck. It needs to be primed and painted, I've been told. Okay, all these posts are in good condition. Some of them have been replaced. We do have an issue with the corner one here. Here's the laundry area. There's the top back lanai back there. So on the corner here, looking down, you have some rot going on right there. Okay, so this looks like it's been put together like let me see, like two by 6s or 2 by 8s, something like that, were put together to support the corner of the lanai there. So I think maybe we would get one big, you know, like a 4 by 8 or something and put it there, as long as it fits on the concrete footing there. So as we come over here, we're almost done with the house, and look at that. That's not particle board or concrete board or something, and it was never painted. It comes white, so they just put it on there, and just all the mildew has just collected there. So good power wash should get rid of that. You can see some there too. So here, this is the back lattice area I was trying to explain before. This area underneath here, this whole lattice area needs to be taken out and replaced, including this post here. Let me just show you real quick. It just comes, you know, it just comes all out. The whole thing just comes all out. So all this needs to be taken out and replaced. This siding here needs to be replaced. You can see there's some rot going on and it's dirty. And then here's John, or I won't say names, but here's the back lanai. There's quite a bit of mold up there, and I've actually been up there before and cleaned it, but it's back there, and I guess I should do it like monthly, I guess, because that's, you know, causing it. And then we do need to have that back lanai painted as well and repaired. There are some leaks that are coming down at the base along the wall into the lower unit. So we've gotten different opinions about that. One opinion is that water is going along the frame of the sliding door along the lanai, and so that needs to be sealed up. Okay, and so there is one other little piece here that there's some rot going on there on the corner of the house. However, I'm being told that it's not actually supporting anything. That is just a sistered, I forget what that's called, but that piece on there, the green piece, was sistered onto the one that's behind it, and then this one is just attaching to there, so it's actually not supporting the lanai. So we may not need to switch that one out. It might be okay. And then here's your corner posts of the lanai. So basically that is it with the house. One other thing. So we're here, and there's a lot of water coming down from the ceiling. Unfortunately, the lighting is just really awful right now. So the water comes down along this pipe, and then it seems to me, let me get some water. This beam underneath here is pretty wet. So I don't know if it's just because of all the condensation and the water coming down the pipe and draining out of here, or if there's some kind of leakage underneath the sink in the unit above here coming down inside and getting this beam wet. But it's dry, completely dry here, but it's wet over here, and I do know that the sink is more on this side, so I don't know if there's a leak along this pipe. This pipe here looks kind of wet going up, so there could be a leak coming up from there. But we definitely need to make sure that this beam is in good situation or good standing, because it's helping to support the outside wall along here. Okay. Let me just show you real quick couple more things. On the way, you can kind of take a little tour of the garden. You can kind of see real quick what it looks like. It's been years you've been here. Oops, there we go. So your pineapple patch, it's kind of yellowing. The plants are getting kind of old. Not as many pineapples, and they're smaller, but they're still producing. Let's see if I can get a picture of one. Let's see, there's one. Okay, and there's another one. So they're babies, and I took some and tops and put them on the street across the way, and they had massive. So here's the back of your house. And there's the lychee tree still here and overgrowing as it's always doing. And then here's a little tin shack still there, and I'm letting the vegetation kind of grow in the front, but I do keep it off the structure. I know you can't really tell that, but I do. I need to get in the back actually and do that, but there's that. Here's the little deck that was built a couple years ago. It had some rot going on here because I think either the person moving in or the people moving out damaged that slat there, and so it was raw and I didn't notice it, and so it's I patched it up a couple weeks ago, but it's been raining, so I'm trying to keep it dry. But that's the new deck that was put in a couple years ago, and then that's the configuration of the shower house was moved back, and so it's now actually easier to go from there to here, although nobody really ever uses that little side bathhouse. So let me just show you real quick. Oh yeah, so my gates need to be replaced, both this one and the one in the back. I won't show you. And then also this gate needs to be redone as well. It's the only one that was painted, but they're showing their age and they're starting to fall apart. So for example, I'll show you right here. You can see a little bit better there, you know, it's starting to do that. And then this one here, whoops, let me get my exposure better. You can see it's just rotting, you know, it's just, the whole piece is just really, and then I hate to show you this, but these are my steps, and so yeah, so this needs to be, I can probably do this, but then at the same time maybe I can get some help. We'll see. So these ones here, and then if you come over here, you have the bridge that was built to connect the unit with the bathhouse, and you have a beautiful little bridge, makes it so much easier to go back and forth. The steps that were over here on the side, I had put over here, but the bottom two are rotting as well. The risers or the sliders seem to be okay on both sides. The slider on this other one may need to be replaced, but these ones, both of them, they seem to be okay. Both of these steps need to be replaced. So basically, I think that's pretty much everything that we talked about. So I think what I'll do is I'll also send these out to the bidders as a reminder of what all needs to be done. And then also, I understand that not everybody had everything pointed out to them, because the situation was that the first time I just didn't know everything that was needed to be done, and then with each incremental walkthrough, more things were found that needed to be, addressed. So, that has to do with the bids and what kind of work was done. But I would like for a couple of the bidders that didn't itemize what was agreed on to go through these videos as reminders and check off what is it that their bid will do, and whatever isn't done, I need to be clear about that. I appreciate everybody coming out. Everybody's been really professional, and I think I have several really good options. I think it's just a matter of choosing the best, the person for the job who we can afford to pay, because it's really a lot of money, and who we think is going to do the best job, and who has the time and the dedication to be here to do it all, and rather than piecemeal over a long time. So basically that's it. Any questions, feel free to contact me, email me, text me, call. This is Stone, and anyways, aloha.